Yes, my undergraduate degree is in engineering. Went to school at Old Dominion University and worked for a number of years as a staff engineer, and finally worked my way into management through project management, into branch office management, and finally as a CEO and president of what's now about a $38 million engineering firm. My relationship with the University of Richmond went back far before I was at the Robbins School. My parents actually met on campus and ended up getting married, and of course I'm the result of that. I actually worked concrete construction over 30 years ago in what's now the Science Building, building some of that. So I've known the University of Richmond for a long, long time, even though I didn't go to undergraduate school here. And I've always felt a warm place in my heart for the school. My first introduction to the Robbins School, the business school, started off with executive education. The previous management team in our firm had a number of us come over here for some leadership training, and I was really taken by the whole idea of learning about business and learning about leadership and the whole sense of education relative to business, since all my education had been in engineering. So I found that very fascinating. A couple of years later, I found out about the Mini MBA program and signed up for that, which gave me a much broader perspective of business education. As I became CEO of my company, I kind of paired that with my now general understanding of business education and business practice, and thought it'd be a really good idea to go ahead and go the full boat and get the full MBA. So I ultimately signed up for the MBA program at University of Richmond, and I'm very, very glad I did. The Mini MBA program I got a lot out of just by getting an exposure to all the various aspects of business. No matter what part of your career if you're in marketing, if you're in accounting or finance, or even if you're in management, project management, to be able to sit in a one-semester class and get an overview of an entire MBA program is a great investment. I highly recommend it. And even with the MBA, I'm glad I did the Mini MBA first, because it was a great exposure for me. I think it's a great program. I mean, it's been recognized nationally, so I'm not the only one that thinks that. One of the reasons I picked the Richmond MBA, because there are a lot of choices in Richmond. I really didn't want a hyphenated MBA. I wanted to come here and learn this stuff. I had enough exposure to things through seminars and conferences and that sort of thing. I really wanted to learn it. And I figured the best way to learn it is to take the full boat 54 credit program. And while it's very rigorous and I'm in it for 3.5 years, I couldn't be happier with it. I think the opening residency is great. It's one of my favorite aspects of the whole program in retrospect, because it allowed us in a very intensive 2-weekend period to really get a flavor for what the MBA program is all about, to understand the rigors associated with the MBA program, to get an overview of the professors teaching with the MBA program, to get an overview of the subject matter that we would be learning over the next 3 or so years in the MBA program. So the opening residency was great. It was a lot of work, very rigorous, but in retrospect, it was one of the strongest parts of the program. I think it's a great program. I think any program worth its salt these days is going to have an international component. We all practice internationally, whether we think we do or not. We're buying supplies from international folks doing business. Some of us are providing work directly to international companies. So I think it's got to be a part of any MBA program worth its salt. Going into this program, I knew I was going to get some benefit out of my company, or rather my company would gain some benefit through what I would learn in this program. It's been far than I ever signed up for, far more than I ever signed up for. It's been great. It's allowed me actually to challenge employees, for instance, our controller or our marketing manager, in areas that I really had no expertise, only some on-the-job training, and to be able to challenge them to be better at their jobs, to bring some ideas, some fresh ideas into the company to help them expand and grow in what they do. Being able to apply a lot of the learnings directly on a day-to-day basis to what I do as a CEO has been great. I think every CEO, if he hasn't or she hasn't already signed up for an MBA program, should do so while they're in the position. There could be no better time in your life to be in an MBA program than while you're running a company. The faculty have been great throughout the executive education program, through the Mini MBA program. Of course, that shares some of the executive ed and the MBA program faculty. They've been great. Some of the top folks I could ever hope for. both the full-time faculty as well as the adjunct professors. The background, the understanding that these folks bring to the classroom is just great. The faculty at this school is just wonderful. It's a wonderful cross-section of adjunct faculty who have great experience in the real world of business, mixed in with those who understand the theory behind business. The combination of those two, class to class, night to night, semester to semester, really makes for a rich education that I'm really glad I chose Richmond for. Yeah, continuing education is big in our company. Not only on the technical, we're an engineering firm, so it's critical that our engineers are educated, but what they really lack so much in their engineering education and their continuing engineering education is some of the things that you can learn through the executive management classes here at the University of Richmond. The leadership, the management, the organizational behavior, those sorts of soft skills that are so important to an individual's success, to a firm's success, that you don't get in engineering school. You're not going to pick up at a 1-hour motivational speaker seminar that you can pick up through the executive education program. It's a great program. We worked with the school to tailor ours to specifically what we wanted. The first time we hooked up with the school, it was with our project managers, and we had a series of classes that were tailored to meet the needs of our project managers and what they do, how they relate to the folks on their design teams, how they relate to their clients, and how they communicate, those sorts of skills. And I think it's been a great plus for the firm and for the individuals. I hope to continue my education. I'm already guest lecturing here, for instance, in the organizational behavior class on leadership and motivation. I hope to continue to do that and continue my relationship with the university as I finish up my education here.